Bass.
Bass. How's it sound?
Oh, not bad. Woo! The cars going crazy.
It started, it's scrapping, it's the number one. The Pennsylvania Polka.
Everybody, Polka!
Hello everybody, welcome to the latest and greatest edition of the NANTICOKE Newsroom with your host, Bob Kalinowski, and your loyal co-host, Jack the Cat. But guess what? Today, the show is not about Jack. I know that's why all you people watch. So we have something very special for you today, as you saw by the intro. Today is not the NANTICOKE Newsroom. It's going to be the NANTICOKE Polka Room. After the amazing success of the Honeypot Newsroom, I decided to go to Hanover section and say, let's do a Hanover section newsroom. But there's one living legend in Hanover section that deserves full-fledged attention and its own NANTICOKE Newsroom. And that's hometown boy John Stanky. John Stanky. And this is a tribute to him, and this is an honor to do it for my grandparents, my Bocce and Jaji. This is an honor to them. Thank you all. So Mr. Stanky, I would like to thank you for allowing me to come over and talk to you today.
It's a pleasure for you being here.
Well, I always say there's something very special about being in the presence of greatness. Mm-hmm. So I really want to start this interview by asking you, how does it feel to be on the set of the NANTICOKE Newsroom?
Well, that would be fantastic, and it'll be the first.
It really is. Now, obviously, that was a joke. I know I'm in the presence of a living legend, right here in NANTICOKE. Mm-hmm. Have people told you that before?
Never.
Okay. Well, I just did. And you are.
Thank you.
You basically are like the Elvis of polka music.
Let's Polka! Performing this week on Let's Polka, John Stanky and the Coal Miners.
Stanky and the Coal Miners. Well, when we first started, all my guys worked in the mines. That's what they were. And I used to pick them up at the coal mine as they were getting onto the mines. The Balakis, Ace of Spades. And I would throw them in a van, and we'd go to play our job out in New York. And we'd get to the place, they go into the men's room, and they wash their hands, and then they come out. Coal miners' hats, coal miners, they were there. And we're the only band that we can get away because the coal miners, they like to drink. We're the only band that we ever played. They used to bring up pitchers of beer and put them on the bandstand. So that was great. So we played about 4 or 5 songs. We had a little beer.
So, I want to hear your whole life story leading up to today, which is probably a little bit long. How old are you these days?
I'm 87.
87, wow. You're looking great, sir.
No, thank you.
Any plans to retire?
Well, and I'm going to keep on going.
So you've been doing it 80 years now?
It's 80 years this year. Mm-hmm. If I keep getting jobs maybe around here locally, okay, within about 2,000 miles, we'll hang around.
2,000 miles, yeah, that's pretty good. As long as you don't have to go on play on airplanes anymore, right?
I'm only kidding.
But tell me some of the things you did? What are some of the highlights of your career? What are some of the things you just could never forget? So, how many cruise ships or cruises did you play on? Can you rattle off the countries you played on, the continents you played on?
Well, we played on airplanes. I had the whole band. We would get in the middle and we start playing. On that trip was Billy Joel and his wife Christy at that time. Brickley. So our pilot, he come out and he says, on board we have a great band and a great person here, Stanky and the Coal Miners. And who got up was Billy Joel. He says, hey, I thought you were talking about me. Yeah.
I love it.
Uh-huh. Well, we were on 156 cruises. And we went to Alaska 25 times. And we went to all the ports, Bermuda and all the ports around there. Of the countries, we went to Russia twice. We were to China twice. Australia, we were there twice.
Spain.
Poland, England, France, Holland, Germany twice. We played in Montana. We played outside and on the hills of Montana, 200,000 people.
But what was it like? How proud were you or humbled were you by all the people over the years that came out to watch you perform?
Boy. Well, I could see it like in their faces. Even if you're all the way in the back, I could tell who's happy and who's not, you know. Almost 90% of the time they were happy. I don't even know how it happens. Sometimes I have to dream and I have to pinch myself, like you say.
I meant to ask you this when I asked you all the places that you played.
Yeah.
Have you ever played on the moon?
That's next.
I think you should before you retire.
I wrote a song. It is about the moon. I just take me to the moon, something like that.
That was a joke question and it worked out.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, it's obviously evident that you've loved your life and what you chose to do. Could you just tell me like how you basically seem like you lived the dream of your life? Could you talk about that? And I don't want to have to do a DNA test, but I heard your family was from Czechoslovakia?
That's right.
So you're not really Polish?
No, I'm Czech and a little bit Ukraine. Well, my dad came from Czechoslovakia and he played a little bit of accordion. And he always wanted me to play the accordion. So I picked it up and he made me practice. I wanted to play baseball because I had some tryouts for baseball. And I wanted to play baseball and he wanted me to play the accordion. So he made me practice. He worked in the mines and he made me practice 1 hour a day and he in his mining clothes yet. And I practiced. And when I got finished practice, he grabbed my baseball glove and he threw it at me. Just as long as I practiced.
So as long as you were able to practice accordion, then you're allowed to go out and play baseball afterwards.
Definitely.
And I think it's a famous story you always tell, but what did he tell you about when you were young about it? You might be able to make a profession out of this. You might not. You might starve if you did. What was it? The song limit?
He told me if I learned 10 songs, I would never starve. So I told him I learned 12. And that's just about the way it went.
So it obviously wasn't instant success either. You started as a kid doing this, and then how did it work? You were doing, mostly people had weddings at their houses back in the day and in the Polish neighborhoods?
Yes, that's where, at the age of 7, I was playing all the weddings in the Hanover section here. And it was fantastic for us. And at the weddings at that time were held up on Saturday and Sunday and Monday. And so what you did, when I played at a house, you stayed at that house for 3 days.
What they call Poplavina or something like that?
Yeah. You must have learned that from me.
Not from you. I'm Polish too, man. So it's like a 3-day Polish wedding party, right?
Polka.
So, did you have an opportunity to ever leave the area, or did you ever never want to?
Well, we left the area on cruises and all that stuff.
Right, but I mean permanently move out of Nanticoke or anything like that.
No, we always stayed in Nanticoke.
You're never
Oh.
taking that Hanover section of down.
Yeah.
Hanover section, born
Yes.
and bred, right?
Well, we're really hometown born, I guess. And she asked me a few times, let's go someplace else to move. I don't know what the hell I would do, you know.
Well, she also was an elected official, so she kind of had to stay, right?
Yes, yeah, that's right. She worked at the Register of Wills.
Absolutely. Not work, she's elected many times over, right?
Yeah.
So, and Michelle, you could pan to her if you want. When did you meet this lovely lady over here? Tell me about your courtship with her. And she's been your manager and best friend all these years, right?
Well, for 61 years.
Married, 61?
Yeah.
Married to a musician.
Married to a musician.
Yeah. Well, I met her at the United Citizen Club. That's in Hanover. It was a Halloween dance. So she was dressed up as Pocahontas.
Like Pocahontas or like the
Yeah, like
Indian?
that.
Like
The Indian.
Was it polka or polka?
That was good.
Pocahontas.
So really, but you were polka or Pocahontas?
Pocahontas.
Like the music.
Yeah.
So play on the words.
Yeah.
Pocahontas. Pocahontas. So you met Pocahontas.
I met Pocahontas. And at the end of the job, I lived so close to the club, I didn't have to take my car. Okay, so I just put the accordion in the case, have about 10 drinks, and go home. You know.
Yeah.
I love to drink at that time. Used to be pretty good. And then I come back into the club, I guess, and had some more drinks. And I put that accordion in one hand and a beer in the other hand. So I had no ride home, and she was there with her brother and his wife. And he heard, he said, "You want to ride home?" So I got the ride home. Her brother and her sister-in-law in the front, and me and her in the back. And I just lived. We're on a corner. So her brother asked me where do I live. Then I told him, go here, go there, and I was going around Hanover, going all around the place.
Why, you're trying to spend more time with her?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So how special or difficult was it spending like every leaving waking moment together? You guys toured together, right? And then you did Pennsylvania polka together and lived together. Like,
Right.
You must have a great thing going.
Oh, out of this world.
Out of this world still?
Yeah.
How out of this world.
How out of this world?
Yeah. You battle once in a while.
So guys, we addressed some of this already in the interview just with John, but so you guys have been married 61 years?
Yes.
And you met 2 years before that. So you guys were early 20s, or that was probably, or
I was 20.
you were 20?
25.
Okay. And did you know who he was before you met him that day at that event?
No, I didn't know him from Shinola.
So, how did it come about that, you guys ended up giving him a ride home and that became this
He
60
tricked me.
Yeah.
He's tricked me my whole life.
Yeah.
What was it like being partners ever since then? Like, again, not just a marriage partnership, and not just a friendship, but you guys had a business relationship, right, too?
When you're in business together like this, you have to have trust in each other. He's a musician. You know how musicians are. You have to have trust in him. And he has trust in me. And I go wherever you want to go because I know nothing's going to happen. And that's what we had together.
But you were along the ride along with them, right? You went to all these tours, a lot of these tours together, right?
Oh,
I used to play ring the bells in the band and sing for many years. But all the cruises and trips, I'd handle all that.
Like the business side of it?
Yeah.
He'd be the talent side of it. But you yourself, in your own right, were a long-time elected official in Luzerne County.
Yes.
So, I guess you both had to kind of make sacrifices to help both of your careers, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you guys still have a strong relationship, I'd assume? You two?
Oh, yeah.
Look at me, Julie.
I'm
really kidding.
So I have a question. What's your favorite thing about this man, other than the fact that he's a musician?
He's a pain.
He's got money.
No, I love him. That's why we're together so long.
Why's that?
Huh?
Why's that?
We tell it as it is. You don't hold nothing back.
You and Dottie found the Pennsylvania Polka, or you guys kind of were just the host of it? You guys were the host?
We found it.
So you
we
asked,
originated it, yeah.
you asked the VIA if they would want to do this, and so people would come to VIA studios, you would play and they would dance, and then would you be the host? Would you be
Yes, I was
talking?
the host for what?
Over 30 years.
30 years.
So you were like a TV star.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was. All that while.
And you were the host, like you would have the microphone and how'd you learn how to do that? Was it just trial and error?
Hi, I'm John Stanky. Welcome to Pennsylvania Polka.
That's all. It all worked out. She did.
You got it down pat. Yeah, I'm going. What did it mean to you when you see the crowds, not even locally, where we have a big Polish population here, but what was it like the crowds in all those countries you were talking about cheering for you? And was it thousands of people, like tens of thousands of people? What was it? Festivals?
Well, I put some pictures in your folder that I'm going to give you. We played in Montana. We played outside, and on the hills of Montana, 200,000 people.
Speaking of that, I did call you the Elvis of polka music, so I don't know if that really is true or not, but you obviously had a lot of fans on the road, right?
Yes, we did.
Was there women that were interested in him? A handsome man, entertaining?
Oh, yeah.
Once in a while.
Like polka groupies almost, was there?
Yeah, we had polka groupies. We really did.
Oh.
Yeah, we had them.
Do you miss the good old days of Nanticoke and Luzerne County having the church bazaars where polka music was the primary entertainment and having all the people dance in front of you?
Miss that very, very much. That only happens around here maybe just a few times a year. Okay, that gives you the song when you go in and out.
So what are all these buttons? These are different. How do you know where they're at? You have to know where you're touching?
After one lesson.
This little
Bass.
How's it sound?
Not bad. Woo! The cars going crazy.
It sounds like a train.
The train polka.
The train polka. Woo! It's our first song.
A locomotive.
Locomotive polka. I like it. What's coming up on Saturday? Here you got a hometown show.
Hometown show. It's being sponsored by the Nanticoke number 4, and that's right up the street on SB Street. And they're sponsoring Stanky and the coal miners, and we'll be there from 7 to 10. And we love all the folks from around the area to come out and visit us.
Where at?
At the Nanticoke Legion, and on Broad Street, right in the hometown Nanticoke.
Well, that's going to be a special day. I can't wait to be there. It's a Saturday. So, I had asked you this before we started, but
I'll give you a different answer.
yeah. Are you familiar with another local polka legend from Hazleton? Is his name Jan Lemon? Is that how you say it? Or Lewandowski?
Jan Laban. We did shows with him in Atlantic City at the Trump Plaza, and we played at the Taj Mahal. Some great shows he put on. This is on the second floor at the main ballroom.
Well, speaking of Jan Lewan, I didn't know if you guys had any kind of relationship before this, but I did reach out to him and ask him if he wanted to say anything about your career.
That's at the Taj Mahal.
But
Autographs.
he obviously landed himself in some trouble, but that also got him in a movie made after him, right? He obviously got in some trouble, was in prison, but he seems to have rebounded and is living the dream in Florida.
Yes, he is. So whatever he's doing, he's trying to do his best.
Hey, Stanky. John, how nice to have the able to send a special greeting to you on your young 87. Wow. And what you're doing this Saturday, it's really very special for the veterans. So I wish you to be here, resident of Hazleton, and I'll be there. So I want to wish you all of the best and health and happiness. And just want to tell you one thing. I never forget when you told me, Jan, that melody of love, sing on the end of the show because that's your strong number. Do you remember that? My good friend, John Stanky. Apple peaches and all of the best. Happiness to you, whatever you go, whatever you do. If you come to Florida, come visit me. Take care.
This looks like a straitjacket.
What's that?
This thing.
That's a small one. She put that other one on you. Your big eyes.
Do you think I'll be able to play some noise here? And not like this.
There.
I'm Polish. I should be able to do this.
Yeah. No,
So what are all these buttons? These are different.
That's
How do you
bass.
know where they're at? You have to know where you're touching. Bass. How's it sound?
Oh, not bad. Woo! The crowd's going crazy.
It's starting, it's Scranton, it's now number 1. The Pennsylvania Polka. John, that wasn't so bad, right?
No. Good thing.
I thought I had you stumped on the question about if you ever played on the moon, and you said you already thought about that.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
We need to call Elon Musk if you've ever heard of him. Maybe he can make it
We
happen.
had the polka in
So when you were playing, did you drink while you were playing?
the
Were you drunk a lot when you were playing?
I'll tell you what. In 80 years of playing, I couldn't make it home once. That's a true story. And you know where I played? I played at a wedding at the next house that you see when you get out of here.
Right next door.
The next door. I played the wedding over there, and as the job was over, I couldn't make it from that house to home. I slept in the grass. I slept in the grass, and I used my accordion case as a pillow. That's the only time I never made it.
Right next door.
Next.
Right next door.
How old were you?
Oh, in his 40s.
Oh, 40s. And my first question obviously was a joke too when I said, how How does it feel to be honored to be on the NANTICOKE Newsroom? I feel honored to be here with you.
Yeah.
You are a living legend. Again, the Elvis of polka music. I was always a lifelong fan. I don't know why you're drinking Mexican beer, but we'll do it.
Oh.
And everybody, I know we always close the show with a patented saying. Get up, Jack. Stay safe out there. Jack, you're looking at me. But we're not doing that today because Anna is going to close the show out just how she started.
Everybody, polka!